What's up guys, Cloudie here checking in from the America server, and this is gonna be my quick take on Mama Lorraine, who got a revamp just recently in the last patch and has become like the talk of KR because she has become really OP. So let's just have a quick look at her, see what she does, how she does it, where she is good, and why you should get her. I definitely think you should. Now if you have watched my videos, I mentioned it a few times that years ago when I started the game, Lorraine was actually my first character for from the inn, so I always had a bit of a special love for her, but somehow never got around to playing her, like using her anywhere. So I'm kinda happy that she's getting a role now. So let's just quickly check her skills, what we have. For S1, this is a 7-second cooldown 2-mana skill. It hits a random enemy and enemies nearby 3 times, dealing damage and inflicting stun. So that looks like this. Pretty fast cast too. She has a lot of stuns in her skill set. Her skill 2 is a 3-mana 15-second cooldown skill. Casts a Seed of Belladonna around the target for 10 seconds, so this does AoE damage. The seed deals damage to nearby enemies every 2 seconds, increasing magic damage they take by 30% and reducing cure rate by 30%. So this is obviously aimed at Shakme, but it's also pretty good against the wall decks in PvP, who have been complaining about her ever since she was released. Let's just look how that looks like. So okay, so that's flower spouting gas or something. Alright. And then finally her main nuke skill, the Wrath of the Forest. 18 seconds cooldown and 4 mana because I have a perk that increases by 1. Attacks enemies within a wide frontal range of self 6 times, dealing a total of a lot of damage and knocking them down for 3 seconds. So this is a very big CC bar reducer. It's 6 times 3 seconds, 18 seconds. That's pretty dope. And if you check this is how it looks like. Also pretty fast cast, and I have seen this wipe out entire teams. But the real fun part is this little purple icon here, which is her dot damage, poison, which can do massive amounts of damage and is just pretty brutal. Now let's just check the description of her perks to see what exactly she's on about and why she's great, for instance, at Shakme, where she, by the way, replaced my A1 10-star plus 15 Seria and just does about the same damage in the waves. Of course, Seria is not really great at that part of the game, but yeah, still, it's like mine is a 2-star and she still does that. So yeah, you can see a 2-star unique weapon, 1-star unique treasure has replaced my very well built Seria. I'm so sad, but my runs have become better since then, so it's what it is, guys. Okay, so we have looked at the skills. Now let's just look at the stats I have chosen for her. She's a support AoE DPS. Sarah is my main DPS on the boss himself, and I'm still dying to one-shot sometimes, so I'm not running Circuit Burst. Also, I'm gonna be adding Evan like this weekend when I do it again, and then maybe I will be doing that too. Might try it with Circuit Burst again, but I generally don't like it on bosses that can one-shot you easily. Let's check what kind of perks she has chosen at 95 TP. The usual attack and monster hunter, that's kind of a given. I picked up this one, Moral Rise. It gives attack to everyone. Attack to everyone is always good, especially good when you are a supporter. Now her skill 1 light perk reduces the target's mana by 250. If the target is a boss, reduces mana by 500. So this is a 7-second cooldown skill that reduces 500 mana. On Shakme, that's pretty nice. I like it. The other, Thornbush Forest, recovers 250 mana upon crit. I don't know if you really need this anywhere. I don't know. Yeah, where I would use it. She doesn't seem to be mana deprived, even though I don't have the Blessing of Mana perk on her. I don't think she really needs this, although I could replace this maybe with an attack rune there. Don't think you really need this. If you run Shakme, then light is definitely the good choice to have. Now this one increases the damage. I don't think this does too much damage, plus it has a very high cooldown, so maybe not so much. The other is increases the duration of the CC inflicted upon hit enemies by 30% for 5 seconds. Kinda meh. yeah, CC can be nice, but for instance not on Devour Shock Me, I believe, because he gets stronger every time you knock him down. And then we got to his her main nuke skill, S3. The light perk increases the mana cost by 1 orb, but damage is boosted to be by 100%, so it's doubling in damage. This is a pretty nice perk to have. I saw her spam S3 on the waves because we will get to her unique treasures, and why she can do that. She was literally chain casting it, and it was just glorious. The Wrath of the Forest 3 dispels positive effects. Yeah, don't have to really talk about this. This is probably a PvP skill. I have heard about her being used in PvP, and I guess it's very useful there in case you run into a WoW. Of course, it will be at least a 3 mana dispel that you need to use, but still not too bad. Now, fun part, the poison. The light perk reduces attack by 5% per stack, and you can stack this to 5 times. Actually, we didn't go into the poison. It does a lot of damage and reduces heal rate on the target by another 25%. So this is really nice on Shock Me again, where you need to reduce heal rate on the waves. Now, but going back to the poison, so it reduces attack by 5% per stack, so you can go up to 5 stacks, 25% attack down. That's better than I have on anyone. I think the only one who is better than this is like a 4-star unique weapon, Jane, who can do more, but other than that, this is, I think, the highest attack reduction in the game. Or at least I don't remember anyone else, but maybe I remember wrong. Anyway, she fits really well into the team with this perk because it helps me avoid getting one-shotted. I have very low unique treasures, so that really does help me. If you have a lot of HP, then it doesn't really matter. In that case, and when I add Devon, I might try switching over to this one, which increases her poison damage by 3 times. Which is just massive because her poison damage is really huge. So I think this perk will be really useful. And she's very good at killing bosses in Eclipse 2. But also Shock Me is a boss, so this will be really nice to have if I get to a point where I no longer need the attack reduction, the extra 10% versus my Anne, for instance. I have tried without and I was dying a bit too much because low unique treasures. I really only have like 1 to 2 star unique treasures. I think Sarah has a 3, but all the other ones are like 1 or 0 even. So yeah, I get one-shotted sometimes. Now her final perk, Lorraine Dark, Transcendence 5, which is really nice. Every time at the beginning of each battle and each stage, she reduces the cooldown of all her skills and increases damage dealt to non-hero enemies by 20% for 90 seconds. And the damage boost effect can be stacked up to 5 times and is not removable. That's 100% non-hero damage after 5 stages, and it will not be dispelled. Now, on places where you run stages, Shock Me, Eclipse, of course, the new endgame, you of course run a lot of stages, so this has just become an awesome perk. Both Sarah have this, Sarah and Lorraine have this, but Lorraine gets it every time she enters, gets 100% after 5 stages every time she enters a stage. Like Sarah either has to stack it up, her darkness phase, or she needs to lower it to 50%, and that only is for a couple of seconds. So yeah, Lorraine got a massive buff. She's doing stupidly high numbers even with this low unique weapon. My stage 6 runs have become so much easier. I really am happy to have her. Now let's just go through her unique items and then we are there. So unique weapon increases deals magic damage every 7 seconds based on your attack to every enemy who has poison on them, and reduces their magic defense and increases the magic damage they take. And this scales pretty nicely, so it can go up to 25% and 250% of your attack. So this can be a lot of damage, especially when there are a lot of enemies, so definitely something good. Let's see her unique treasures. Now the unique treasure 2 is not that interesting, I believe. If you go through it, it reduces the mana cost of this S2 skill and the mana of hit enemies by 200 and recovers own mana by 100. Now I guess this is by every hit that it does, but still it's not so much. Okay, 500. If it's like every 2 seconds, 500, okay, that's not too bad. I guess it should be every 2 seconds because that's how it deals damage. So yeah, so 5 times it does, yeah, so okay, that's not too bad at the 5-star, but I probably wouldn't go for that. You can manage mana drain in different ways on Shock, but yeah, it's alright, not bad. But then there is this one, the Root of the World tree, her S3 skill, which is her nuke. This increases the damage, and upon critical hit on enemies with over 5 stacks of poison, the skill cooldown is reduced by 4%. Now when you are in the stages and fighting all those adds, you have a lot of enemies and poison is stacking up really fast. You have crit capped anyway, so you will be reducing your cooldown by a lot. I saw her chain casting at stages where there were a lot of monsters and she was doing sick amounts of damage. So this is coming on top of her poison damage that she does anyway, and this is just like massive, even with a low unique treasure like I have. But there are other unique treasures that also work for her. Let's just quickly look at them. I do not have those yet. Let's go to index and item index and unique treasure and wizards, and let's try and find it. Now this is for her unique skill 1, unique treasure 1, which reduces the cooldown of her S1. Now that's interesting. At 5-star it increases the damage by 50%, this is fixed, and reduces the cooldown by 3 seconds. The main cooldown, or the base cooldown, is 7 seconds, so this would take it down to 4, making that skill really spammable. I don't know how I feel about that really. It could be okay, but it's not really her main damage skill, I think. Now if we move on, and if I can find it, I really never know which one is which, so let's stay with me for a moment. Yeah, this one. Now this is the other one that I've heard people really like, especially for boss stages at the end where you only fight bosses alone in Eclipse. So like at stage 40 you will only face single target bosses. You do not really benefit from the cooldown reset on S3 anymore, but your poison already does a lot of damage because it is getting the multiplier from her S4 Dark, and in that case this is pretty nice. Also for PvP it makes the poison irremovable, and for the duration the target takes extra 25% damage. This also means that if you are running her as a supporter and you really just want her to support, then you can take this one and the poison will not be removable. That can be good on some fights, and the target will take more magic damage. So this is like if you have a really budget Lorraine and you don't really care about her damage, but she does do a lot of damage, so I think it might be better to get the 3 one. At least that's what I'm going for if I'm building her for higher levels in Shock anyway, because the boss itself I can clear fast enough, I think. Now I do not have her soul weapon, but I think they haven't changed it. So if I look at this really quick, summons the soul weapon, the soul of the world tree for 10 seconds, deals damage on a random enemy every 2 seconds, increasing magic damage it takes by 30%, that's nice, and inflicting shackle. Recovers all mana and reduces cooldown of all skills by 1. That's already pretty nice for a basic SW, but then it goes on, increases own attack by 50% for the duration of the soul. Okay, and this has a pretty low charge time actually, 17 seconds is not bad at all. And then Advancement Phase 2 increases the duration of CC effects applied upon all enemies by 30%. That is curious, because if you had that other UT, then you could increase it, or the perk, then you could increase it by 60%. Alright. It reduces their magic defense by 25%, so she can also shred. Also, that doesn't work on Shockme itself, because you can't shred Shockme. But yeah, I mean, combined with her unique weapon and this perk or this advancement phase bonus, this is pretty nice, I think. So yeah, Mama Lorraine has become really brutal, I believe. I really like her on Shockme so far. It works so much better than with my Seria. I'm so sad, because even the fact that I no longer see Seria suiciding on every wave, it's like so nice. And yeah, my Lorans just have gotten better even with a 2-star Lorraine. So yeah, Mama Lorraine definitely has been upgraded to the next level. I wouldn't be quite surprised if they do nerf her a little bit after this, because a lot of people, especially high rank PvP people, have been complaining that she's absolutely destroying wall decks. Although I'm kinda happy about that, because I don't like wall decks, but then again I don't like arena in a sense either, so it doesn't really interest me that much. But yeah, I think she might get scaled down a little bit later on. But for now, I think she is very nice and good to have. And you can get her with a 2-star hero selector ticket, unless I'm mistaken. So if you are new or starting a new Magic account, she is an early pick. And she will be doing a lot of damage, I think, and carry you through a lot of content. So that's been it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below how you find Lorraine. Where are you going for her? Where are you gonna build her? And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Cloudie out. Bye bye.